getting signed up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Juma Game Reserve this afternoon.
Stand by. Audio sound music.
Audio sounds weird. Hope everybody's hearing me. Sorry, I just got stopped in the middle of...
You, but lots of discussion now.
Is it better now, but
Okay, how about now?
Saying something else here. Important. Keep the picture.
We're just doing a sound check again. Sound check, testing the sound.
Good afternoon, everyone. Perry speaking in final control. The audio sounds very, very weird, so we're busy working on that. And there's lots of distortion on the audio, so we're just going to quickly take a look at it, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Doing another sound check, everyone. We just... Strange how gremlins can work their way into machinery between a morning and afternoon drive without anybody touching anything.
Okay, guys, everything's fine. Probably someone monitor. Going out.
Well, welcome once again to our PM safari. starting like quite similar to yesterday with the water buck. Let's hope that's the only similarity we have to yesterday afternoon's drive. And welcome to Game Reserve in South Africa, in the Sabi Sands. A magnificent private reserve on the edge of the Kruger National Park, with a very rich diversity of wildlife, and we're hoping to see some of that wildlife this afternoon. And with that wildlife comes the environment that they live in, and hopefully we'll see some of that too. I mean, we'll stop and look at some of that, like a pair of Birchall's glossy starlings, quite glossy, in this mid-afternoon sunshine, when the light catches them just correctly, just right. This will probably be a couple, a monogamous couple. Now we get many different kinds of starlings in this part of Africa. And this one, perhaps one of the most easily identified starlings, in that it's got a very dark eye. Most of the other starlings either have orange or yellow eyes. Seems to have found something there to dig at. Either termites or ants, I'm not too sure. It looks like whatever it's found seems to be quite a few of them. I need to look closer at the ground as well, because a day like today there might just be some harvested termites at work. The young male steenbok on our right. Let's see if we can. Possibly just recently establishing his own little territory. And so we might actually see some more of him as time goes by. We don't often have a steenbok out here on, actually I like. There are times when we see steenbok here on this open area quite frequently, and there are times that we don't. But we must keep our eye out for this little boy. Shaking his head, something in his ear there. But walking away from us. Perhaps our smallest antelope. There are others that are smaller, but for this particular part of the world, the steenbok in this part of the Sabi Sand is the smallest. Don't forget, questions can be emailed to us. Final control at safari.tv. And hopefully I can answer them for you. Bye. warthog and a piglet. Fair breeze blowing this afternoon, and I guess cooling things down a little bit. We will get to the warthog in a second. There's a second piglet, but it's amongst a lot of the broken down vegetation. We had a couple of elephant bulls here a couple of months ago. We went a bit wild. Well, they are wild elephants. But they went a bit overboard with these silver cluster leaf trees, breaking a lot of them, snapping branches, snapping trees. I don't know what their case was. It's a bad day for them, I guess. Called displacement aggression, when elephants take out their frustrations on inanimate objects. And better they do that than taking frustrations out on animate objects like humans or other animals. Very typical grazing posture, feeding posture with the warthogs. Down on their wrists, really, not quite their elbows or their knees. Those are actually their wrists that they go down on. There's the second piglet coming out now. Very easy for you to see, but I can tell already, as young as these piglets are, and they're going on for about a year old, I think, I'd say. Born last year, end of November, maybe December, sort of that's piglet time for the warthog. And you can tell that the little one on the right is a little boy. The little one on the left seems to be a little girl. And one of the easiest ways to distinguish between warthog, male and female, are by the warts on their faces. Ordinarily, the females have a pair of warts lower down on their snout, but the males have a pair of those wart-like protrusions just behind the eye. And with this little one, I can see his starting to grow. reckon you could say for most animals, probably about 90% of their time is spent eating. Especially the herbivores. Carnivores, it's a much smaller fraction of time. 90% of their time is spent sleeping for the carnivores, because they've got to use all of that energy that they get from their food to get more food. It isn't very energy consumptive to walk around eating plants. So where are we going to go this afternoon? Let me think. Bye, warthogs. I'll see you later. Haven't decided what we're going to do, where we're going to go. I think, oh, there was rhino here on quarantine. That's interesting. Rhino track, elephant track. This is yesterday, last night even there was rhino here. Gosh, we don't often have rhino in this part of the world. Well, I mean on this big open area, that's not unusual. Seems to have walked up and down. Tracks going both ways. Get this bird before it's flying. Little insect eater known as the southern black tit. He's hopping around this little acacia trying to get insects. It's a lovely contrast with the black and white bird and the white thorns. The movement of the tree is indicative of the wind that we have this afternoon. That's his call. Bye. Now there is a nest in this tree. I know you can get it just off to the left. Down there, almost center of this tree. A very well protected nest in terms of protection from primates and things. Not such good protection from snakes. And one we might put two and two together and think it was the southern black tit's nest, but it's not. It's actually the nest of a little blue waxbill. It's a very small, also known as a cordon bleu. I don't know why they call it a cordon bleu. What is the direct translation, Sebastian, of cordon bleu?
Well, bleu is blue.
Yeah.
Cordon is. No, I said cordon. Cordon is like. Cord is a rope. So cordon is like a short rope.
Okay.
So basically it says blue rope, blue short rope, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But there is also the name of a dish called cordon bleu, you know?
Yes.
So,
well, there, you can actually hear the blue waxbill now. There might even be one coming near the nest. I've just heard it. It's even a lighter noise than the harsh call of that southern black tit. Very interesting. They use a very particular type of grass, the blue waxbills. East Africa, they're known as a cordon bleu. I don't know, they might have changed the name in South Africa, I don't know yet. A lot of names have changed of the birds to tie in with what birds are called in other parts of the world. Like the thick-knee we used to call the dukkop. And the plovers that excuse me, the plovers that are now called lapwings, francolins that are now called spurfowl. Many other changes, and we'll see if we can find any birds this afternoon that might have gone through some name changes, and we might just look for some birds anyway. But that little nest is made from most of the panicum grasses, and it's very interesting because the male of the species finds himself a grass head, either an Eragrostis or a panicum, and if I can find you a seed head of one of those types of grasses, I'll show you. There's a giant panicum, I don't want that. The time of the year when a lot of these grasses are losing their flower heads. Yeah, there's a little piece of, I think this is an Eragrostis. But I just want to illustrate a very interesting courtship behavior. Oops, let me get up here so I'm closer to the camera so that I can do something special. But normally what the male would do is he'd select, and he will spend hours looking for just the right seed head of grass, and normally it would have all its little seed heads, and this little spike would be full of seed. And he'll take it in his beak in the middle of sometimes, no, not only the middle, but he'll take this in his beak and he'll approach the female and he'll bob up and down, he'll do a little dance. Did that work for you? No, I mean with the camera.
I don't know, because tomorrow we have to edit it in 3D
We're trying to do things in 3D here, so just to point out that we'll be able to see this with a bit of luck come a month or two. No, what am I saying? Later on in summer when the grass heads are sprouting. There's a little dance that the blue waxbill does. And if she takes the piece of grass from him, then he knows he's got a mate. And if she refuses or if she doesn't accept it, he's got to find another piece of grass and try with the same lady, or he's got to find another lady. So you see, things don't really change much. Doesn't matter what species you are. Sometimes you've got to work hard. Buying roses, picking panicums. I seem to recall us starting here again, yesterday as well. Down here on Twin Dams Road. You can see how far we can get without an engine. Not very far. believe you all saw in Duna this morning. In Duna, a young male leopard who is growing up real fast. Becoming quite a little killing machine. As is his brother Mishu. Hopefully we can find signs of either one of them today, and maybe their mother, Karula. That would be nice. I believe he was up near Treehouse Dam, so I think what we'll do is we'll make our way there. Blue ribbon. Excuse me. Thank you, Tony. Cordon bleu, blue ribbon. A ribbon, Monsieur Sebastien. A blue ribbon.
Oh, okay.
And cordon bleu, yes, that is the dish. Chicken breast stuffed with ham and cheese. Chicken cordon bleu.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get kosher ham these days. And then of course you got the meat and milk thing with the cheese, so it is quite a nice dish, I guess. Haven't really ever had it. Although I do eat cheese, I do eat chicken, not together. Not for any other reason than I don't really like mixing the flavors. Mix cheese with bacon. I hear a Franklin upset about something. So thank you for that, Tony. I should have known that. Well, I mean, I knew about chicken cordon bleu, but I should have remembered the blue ribbon. Okay, but now, here's a question. So what has ham and cheese in a chicken breast got to do with a blue ribbon?
Exactly.
Unless you
Why
have...
is the bird called blue ribbon ever?
Oh, because they're lovely little blue thing, and when they fly, I guess, if you got it on a really slow shutter speed, it'll look like a ribbon. No, I don't know how many times that piece of wood has caught me thinking of the leopard. There, speaking of the devil, leopard tracks. Excuse me. And where did he go? Snake tracks too. So that Franklin could be chirping about a leopard hanging around Chelapan. Maybe we better go check the gardenia. Have a look underneath. He's normally Mishu only stays under that gardenia if there's water in the pan. When he was younger, he would play with terrapins. And lie under this bush in ambush and waiting to ambush something. But he's not there now. transport. Might take years before we get a leopard under that bush again. Let me see, I think I better go back. Patrick, you can help me. Were leopard tracks found here at Chelapan this morning? Do you know? Okay, let me just check Chelapan Road. Coming down from Weaver's Nest to see if there are any tracks up here. I'm not seeing anything. Lutu. Nanchum. Azif. So, next, what have we got flying around? Well, those are Wahlberg's eagles. I wonder. Keep an eye on them, at the corner of my eye. See what's going on there in a minute. Check this part of Tundan's Road, see if there are any tracks. Oh. No, there are not. So we go back to where I last saw these tracks on this bend, which was only meters away from where I was hearing a Francolin complaining bitterly. That is a Wahlberg, that's the pale-faced Wahlberg that's flying about. Maybe they're doing a mating flight. I see both vultures are in the nest on Vulture's Nest. We can zoom in on them. Wahlberg's about to come circling over that nest as well. I wonder if, let's see if we can see any action there with youngsters. One vulture is got a head down for some reason. Almost as though it was feeding something. There's the Wahlberg directly over the nest now, but it's gaining height. It found a thermal. Yeah, I just heard it call. So they are doing a bit of a mating flight, mating call. Big female Claire M, female, I think it was Claire, or was it Elaine? Did you hear that? I hope you did. And there he's calling back. Female pale phase, male dark phase. He's much further away. This is a female that it was either Claire or Elaine that was talking about it the other day. There is another pair that's got a male pale male. There is a baby there. I saw a little head sticking up on that vulture on the left. It was putting its head down, and there's a little one there. You know, we haven't been able to see much of this nest because the jackalberry, being an evergreen, has been very dense. And it's only now with the jackalberries losing their leaves and getting their new leaves that they're going through this change that we're able to actually get a decent view of this nest. And for the first time, we are able to confirm a youngster up there. Both adults looking very attentive. Sadly, we can't get much closer than this. In any case, the closer we get, the more acute the angle is, and then we can't see onto the top of the nest. So, unfortunately, this is the best we can do. Poor child must be baking in the sun. But I've seen that with raptors' nests, including that of giant eagle owls, how these chicks would sit in the baking sun every day when the Mapanis lost their leaves. Of course, no Mapani trees this far south. something we're going to have to keep an eye on. We can also try and look at it in the morning from the other side, from Volter's Nest Road, where we can maybe get a little bit closer to it. Depends on the angle, of course. As I say, getting closer to it, we're too much underneath the nest. The way both of those adults are sort of heads down, being as attentive as they are. I wonder how, it's maybe not a new hatchling. Fledgling is a long way to go. Of course, I forgot to mention, these are white-backed vultures. Many other vulture species nest and roost on cliff faces, but the white-backed vultures use treetops, as do hooded, white-headed, lappet-faced. It's the Cape vultures that are in dire straits at the moment as a species that require cliff faces. There we go. I see a baby's head. Wow, no, it's not a hatchling. It seems to be a couple of weeks old already. Because it's got a fairly large head. I've just lifted its head up. I know it's very far for us to see. Sorry. Head. I could just see movement underneath the one on the right. I'm wondering if they're not maybe two babies. I know, maybe it's not too exciting for you, but I just want to confirm things. Okay. Convergence. Kim's asking how many eggs do they usually have. I'm actually looking it up at the moment. I would say 2 to 3. I'm not too sure, Kim, and I don't know if I don't have any information. Normally in this book they say so. Difficult to tell the sexes, of course, because they are so similar. Not like eagles, where male is smaller than the female. Vultures are very much similar in size. It takes 6 years for that little one in that nest to get its adult plumage. I mean, a lot of eagles, you get some eagles that take up to 8 years to get their adult plumage. But Kim, not getting any info out of my book about clutch sizes, and it's not something that I know offhand, having never really observed vultures in the nest. Now, this is a very typical white-backed vulture's nest, top of a crown of a tree. and not very easy to watch. Robert's Birds of Southern Africa is a very good book for all the technical information, or rather all the detailed information, the sizes and the clutch sizes and very precise info. Right, so I must go and find some tracks now. Here, kitty kitty, where are you? Kitty kitty. Hello kitty, kitty kitty. There are no tracks here, so somewhere in front of us is where the tracks left the road. So I'm going to just have to stop here. I don't want to drive too much further and obscure or obliterate them. Just going to take a quick stroll. Excuse me a moment. Take a quick stroll. Let's see.